mindfulness class, I think Rodney perhaps was there, that why this guy is with you for the last 24 years. Why he did not learn the practice from you and he should be doing it. Normally, this is the question comes from highly intelligent people from the modern science. Last week, this student of mine on an online session narrated a wonderful story that his friend was driving a car. He was with inside the car. A person was crossing the street. There is it's a, it's a crazy if you drive in India. Yeah. But if you succeed in driving in India, you are the most successful driver anywhere in this world. Nobody follows any rules. Red light is there, so people are crossing. And the best part is that you have a very senior officers are always on the road. Who are those senior officers? The cows and the buffaloes. They also cross their street. So that is the way. But anyhow, this a guy was, even there was a red light, he was crossing the street and the car hit the guy. The person, he fell down. So normally what happens, my student came out of the car. He wanted to hit this guy, but instantly he told me, I remember your words. What is right perception? And my mind returned back. I moved into peace. It happened within a few seconds. Then I approached this guy who fell. I helped him. I asked him to come inside my car. There is no problem. It is neither your fault nor our fault. But one thing I should tell you, there was a red light. You should not have crossed it. So let me take care of you. So that is the result of when you practice meditation. Then you do not need to practice. You start living into that state of meditation. So you have to continue the journey, but not what second event that he explained me that happened last week. And then he said that he went into a marriage party and he saw the chicken. And he told me, sir, I looked at it and I said, no, I will not. The moment I said, my mouth was filled with a glass of saliva because of the craving, because he was not able to control. We don't realize these things. We never realize these things. We go to a store, oh, we like it, that's why we are buying it. But we are not aware of what's going on inside. So when you continue the journey of this meditation or the higher practices of yoga, do you remember 3 defects of the mind? Do you still remember? Impurity, tossing, ignorance. So they can attack us anytime. So when you're doing the practice and growing and evolving into that, you're evolving yourself, you reach to that state of the consciousness where you have a right perception all the time. And at last, what happens? These impurities drops down. He said that this never happened to me for the last many years. And so he was very curious that why these two events happened. So his mouth was full of saliva. So what happened? The first level, he was not able to withdraw himself. So it manifested through the sense organ of the and his. But in the first event, it happened within a fraction of a second. Within a fraction of a second. So that is how the meditation evolves you. That is why is no less practice. So you realize something, higher consciousness takes over your mind and you are there. Then you need not to practice. You're already there. The same thing applies to these great mantras developed by these great masters. Every mantra has its own power if the mind follows that power. So how the mind follows that power, first you do the chanting, you experience the effect of the chanting, then you go for contemplation, you reflect upon it. The moment you reflect, you're already into that state of meditation. So that journey, that level of the practice, the student is doing nowadays online. So it takes almost an hour in the beginning, but gradually those practices starts reducing. So what happens when he sits and he is sitting and then he is sitting for an hour? I said, no, now it is the time to open your eyes. It's enough now. He has not been doing any physical practices, but initially, few years back, it was very challenging to him for sitting even for 20 to 30 minutes. But now it is more than enough. The same thing with this guy who comes to me for the last almost 5-6 years, only for meditation. So even if you can look from the other point of view, so it is totally different. So now he can sit for 85 and 90 minutes. Every Friday, he comes at 5, we talk for 2-3 minutes. I give him maximum 15 and 20 instructions during 90 minutes. But yes, I'm constantly watching him, and he is there. So that is the art. It's a long journey. But Christine said it rightly, even for 5 to 10 minutes, you should be doing practically every day. Before going to sleep, you should be doing it, and it will change. So let us see, there is, we will follow the same mantra, and only understand that we are moving from a wrong perception to the right perception. The moment you awaken to the right perception, you simply live in meditation. You live in meditation, you don't practice it. So when just look at me and just check your mind, what is the perception of your mind about this guy? Keep it in your mind. Don't tell me. Everyone has its personal. We don't want to tell what if there is something bad. So that's what I'm saying. Keep it. Yes. So we lose that perception. So just see that how we can achieve the perception through the same mantra. So let us do it. Sit or lie down, whatever is possible. We have talked a lot, so let us do some practice. This is going to be only one time practice, so you can see the videos again and you can look at it, so I have no problem. But eyes are closed. You have already done, now I see the situation and the condition of the students. So you have already been listening to all of us for the last 2 years, not 2 years, 2 hours. So, so first thing that let us raise the energy level. Gentle breathing for 3 minutes. Your chest breathing, gentle breathing, short, gentle breathing. Why I say gentle breathing? You are playing with the breath. You are playing with the breath. You are playing with the breath. Playing with the breath means it's a gentle breath. Don't give it a name of Kapalbhati or Bhastrika or any name. Our goal is to influence the body, the mind, the breath. And that is why we are doing this. Wonderful. The goal is Tatachiyate Prakasha Varnam. That is why we want to prove those verses, whether these verses written by these masters are right or not. For a temporary level, what happens? It helps you to raise your awareness and move to the right perception. It helps you to relax your brain. So, activity. That is why activity. Continue, but with a play and a fun, with a smile on the face, not fighting with your mind. And it is done. Stop this. Do not think. The first thing to experience. I'm helping you to understand that how a single practice looks like, feels like when you go into an advanced phase. Your mind becomes very subtle. But we are using totally a different approach that you had never done before. First thing, you feel the refresh. What is the goal of the breathing practices? Two goals according to Patanjali. It gives you a remarkable power of concentration. So we need not to focus anywhere. The concentration will happen on its own. Second is, it removes the veil of ignorance. A single breath, even for one breath you change, there is some change inside the brain. Even the science says. So first step is done. Now second step, adjustment and alignment of the body. Why? We are going within. So check. Adjustment is there. The body is aligned there with reference to Discomfort. If you find any discomfort, you can remove it. I'm breaking up the very first preparatory step. Understand that clearly. If you can understand, you can go very deep. Now, the next step is relaxed state. The relaxed state means that if you change the direction of the mind from outside to inside, the relaxation is the result. You're angry, and I pat on your shoulder. Come on, wait for a minute. Let me talk. So your mind goes to yourself. Patting has less result. It is just a tool. Now see, relaxed state. Look at the neck joint and experience. What do you experience? You experience the sensation and awareness. Who is feeling the sensation? The mind. So where the mind is? On the head, on the neck joint. What it means when it is on the neck joint? Shoulder joints. You look, you feel, there is a sensation and awareness. Last time the doctor said sensation and awareness are the same. And she said that I don't feel the sensation, I'm simply aware of it. I said that's why you are progressing. And when you are aware, the mind has changed its direction from outside to inside. That awareness we should have. So what normally happens? We have those impurities and the mind is crazy. It starts moving the different parts of the body and then you miss the practice. Now look at the hip joints, feel the sensation and become aware. Knee joints, are you doing anything? You are in a state of doing nothing. We are proving that point in our practices, in our steps, ankle joints. If you don't feel the sensation, the mind is still outside. And then the mind starts wandering. And then you have a complaint. No, when I sit for meditation, my mind is wandering. So it's a very subtle point. After a relaxed state, then you have a steady state. I wish that you should be doing this particular practice every day. Reduce it only for 5 to 10 to 15 minutes based on the time. Now I give the metaphor I have been giving you. The car is parked outside. It is steady. The body is parked here. It is steady. Who looks the steadiness of the body? It is the conscious mind that looks at the body that is steady. Two things happens. That conditioned and the habitual mind is prevented to trigger the body. That is why we raise our awareness of the steadiness in the body. There is no other reason. I just broke up every, first preparatory step into 4 or 5 points. And the last is the happy moment. At this moment, if you look at the breath in the state of doing nothing, you will discover that you are already there. Now see the point, what we did. Only the one step that you have learned that I always use in almost every program. And 15 minutes have already passed. Commitment, we should inspire ourselves. Then these practices becomes yours. Now, 3 times Om. But you have to do in a very calm, gentle manner. Take a deep, silent, and slow breath. And take your time. When you are chanting the second time, feel the sensation inside. Yes, follow your own rhythm, but your mind is fully aware of the body at the time of the saying on. Third time. Wait, feel the sensation. Feel the sensation. What happened? We will do it. Now see how we should contemplate with awareness and move to the right perception. That becomes the higher practice. Let us first chant the first verse. Asatu ma satgamaya. Asatu ma satgamaya. Two more times. Asatu ma satgamaya. Are you aware of yourself, feeling the sensation deeper inside the head and the heart? Asatu ma satgamaya. So first we can recite, we can chant, we can repeat. Look inside the head. Let us ask the thinker what it means. Literal meaning, in that state of the sensation and the stillness. Movement from the asat, the mithya, the false, to the truth, is a journey to peace and happiness. So mentally you say, if I move from the false to the truth, why I'm saying that you mentally say to it? That is the self-talking starts. But this is a conscious self-talking. My friends, our Marines are taught 4 principles to fight with any odds in a given situation. And one of the principles is self-talking. And the yoga lays a great importance on the self-talking, conscious self-talking. Repeat it again, the meaning, the movement. Oh, if I move from false to the truth, that will take me to the peace and the happiness. And I can tell you, your body will won't move. It will become more and more still. You will feel freezing down. Now the contemplation should start. How the contemplation goes away? That statement remains intact and you open up. What is truth? That is never changing, that is permanent. Do I know it? No. So what is not changing? That transcends the time. There is no past, present, and the future. That truth remains all the time same. Is that truth is peace and happiness is that truth, the wisdom in me that will deliver me from all the stress and the suffering. So, what is the approach? I don't know the truth. So, first I will filter out what is not the truth. Is body not changing? No, it is changing all the time. But I see that I always consider I am the body. I am the body. Am I the body at this moment? No, I'm different than that. Body is constantly changing. I'm contemplating, I'm communicating, I'm talking to myself. You see, the contemplative mindfulness. Before you go to loving kindness or other those crazy words, you have to filter out what I am not. That is one approach. So I am not the body. Okay. Then the breath is always changing. Am I the breath? No, breath is always changing. Am I the mind? Mind is always changing. I am not the mind. Our goal is discovery of the truth. But we are starting with what we are not. Once we filter out what we are not, it becomes easy for us. What is left will be the truth. That is the approach. That is why we do these asanas, pranayama, pratyahar, mudra, dharana, lot of other practices. That is one way. Second way that you start doing this every day. How am I the ego? Ego is always changing. But I am stressed. Really? Does this stress belongs to me or it belongs to the body, mind, intellect, ego, and the emotion? No, it belongs to the body, it belongs to the mind, it belongs to the ego, and everything is changing. I'm none of them, so I'm not even the stress. Oh, does this means asatoma satgame? This really means moving from the false to the truth? Yes. This means movement from the false to the truth. So now see, you go back. First, preparatory step, relaxed state. Look again. Is the mind still deeper within? So how did we do that? Look at the neck joint. Now you'll feel more sensation. And if you feel more sensation, your mind is already there. You start moving into a right perception. You are living into the mindfulness state. You need not to do anything, even if you need not to worry about your breath. No, normally we talk mindfulness, mindful of the breath. We are already there. And the hip joint, sensation and awareness. Knee joint, sensation and awareness. See the point, barring because you have been here for the last 2 hours. We started this session after 2 hours. That's why I added the breathing practice. You need not to even do that. Choice is yours. Then body starts, you experience the freezing in the body, the sensation of numbness takes over, and steadiness in the body. Check. The steadiness is there. Why we need a steadiness? One thing more, 1 point more. Discover it is not enforced stillness. It is earned. How it is earned? That you are simply aware of the stillness of the body, the light. You have parked the car outside, you have parked the body. It is casual, in the state of doing nothing. That prevents the triggers from the past, memory. What is that? we have already discussed. They are the three defects of the mind. Any defect can pop up. Like you have, pop-up windows that pops up, shows you different ads you are not interested in. And happy moment, relaxed breath. Now look deep inside the head and the heart and become aware of what. Are you aware of what you are not? That becomes the right perception, and you are living in. You are living in mindfulness. You are not practicing it. Let me give you another example. As I am fully aware that I am not this room, I am none of you guys, I am not the light, I am not the computer, I am not the teacher, I am not the body, I am not the breath, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am not the thought, and I stay there. I am not doing anything. We started with doing nothing, and we are still doing nothing. So what happens? I'm living in meditation. Let me make it clear again. In the presence of the light, I'm looking at you all. I'm observing you all and giving the practice. In the absence of the light, I can still give the practice. So light becomes like a catalyst. Same thing, asato ma satgamaya, a statement, a mantra, is simply a mantra. It has to be lived here and now. That is what happened. Student narrated his story to me, and he was so happy. You are doing nothing. You are living into that state of the mindfulness. Let us chant Om Shanti 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 one time, and then we'll have a discussion for 5 minutes. Another breath. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right palm, your awareness on the left palm. Bring your both the palms on your eyes, open the eyes inside, know your experiences, bring the hands down. How do you feel?
Very relaxed. I didn't even want to lift my hands up.
It was difficult.
Yeah.
That's a deeper state. How are you, Michelle?
Me or?
Yeah. First you. You're my favorite.
Okay. I think I lasted, maybe 10 minutes, and then I was like, all right, I got him. How long was that?
It was almost 25 minutes.
Yeah. The first thing, I thought about 10 minutes or so, I was okay. And after that, I was like...
Yes, I'll tell you the story why it is so. Michelle, how are you?
Much better.
Much better?
I had a really bad day before. I feel better.
So, never ever think that meditation or mindfulness, we have to take care of the breath, we have to lie down, we have to sit, we create a lot of conditions. No condition is required. Even you pick up a mantra, you sit, you're contemplating. And I gave this practice to this student of mine for almost, it has been more than an hour. And he was sitting. I said, no, now is the time to open your eyes. Sir, I was listening to it, but I don't want to come back. How are you, Rodney?
One, it's easy to get my mind focused more, like than have random thoughts that arise. It's just being able to just
So, what is important? Pick up any verses that you like from any book, but check it. Can that verse takes you to right perception? Right perception, and you use it. So we had a good master. So there are two students went there to learn meditation. The first was an IT professional, very rational. So he said, what's the hell you have been doing, sitting under a tree in the Himalayas for 20 years? Worthless fellow. But anyhow, can you teach me? All these yoga masters are worthless in the sense that when you don't find any job, when you fail everything in the external world, then you join yoga. Rajni doesn't agree, so he's keeping it. So, no, anyhow, that's a joke. It's a journey. So, and the other guy was also there. So he was listening and he said, why you have come here? No, I just want to learn meditation. So, okay. So master said, oh, it's very simple. It is the easiest thing to do. Om Shanti, do you know? Oh, I have heard it many times. So, okay, if you heard it, did you chanted it? Yes, I have done it many. Oh, I will tell you a simple thing, and it will happen. You'll go into a deeper meditation. So he said, go back home, close your eyes, and start saying Om Shanti with love and care. Oh, that's all? I said, yes. I did it. I said, no, just do it. And then you can come after weeks. The moment both the students wanted to leave, he said, there is one condition. And that condition is simple. What is that condition? That while saying Om Shanti, the thought of a monkey should not come to your mind. The rest is okay. So that IT professional was there and I said, no, I never thought of monkey. I have seen it a couple of times, but it's not a big deal. I've been, focusing on my projects and other things. The other guy was totally a disciple. He didn't listen the second word. He said, Master told me saying Om Shanti, there is no need to think of whether there is a monkey or not. So the IT professional went and he said he was sitting, Om Shanti. But why the master told me that the thought of the monkey should not come? Thought is already there. You're thinking that thought is not there. But the thought is already there on the monkey. Oh, maybe the monkey, the mind are the same. That's why Om Shanti has been left. And after an hour, there was only thought of a monkey. Om Shanti was lost. So that happens to our meditation. Misha, not 10 minutes. There should be continuous. Before you go to sleep, just do it. Don't you do it? It's not a doing. And the second, the student succeeded. So they both returned, why you did tell me that the thought of a monkey should not be there in your mind? That's why it has started coming. The master said, okay, do you think that I'm responsible for your mind? You crazy guy? You have come here to learn meditation? Am I responsible for your mind? Did I teach you this IT? So you are doing an intellectual exercise. When you're doing an intellectual exercise, it doesn't work. So when you are aware of behind the intellect, it starts working. You move into the right perception. That is the key. So the moment I'm saying Om Shanti, another thought begins. Hold on, doing nothing. Thought of a Michelle comes. I tell my mind, hold on. It comes and it goes. I don't think that why the thought of a Michelle comes. No, for example. So, and so that helps you to instantly live in meditation. You don't practice meditation, you live in meditation, and you live in peace and you live in happiness. So meditation is what? It's a play. Play. Just play. Don't think that you have to do it. Just play. Just play. Just play means that as you are chewing something, it's a play. Same thing, meditation. Don't make it a burden. Don't make it, oh, let us. The moment we close our eyes, we see that as if we are going into the heaven. Don't make it a burden. Let it be casual, easy, carefree, and when it happens, it succeeds. When it doesn't happen, it does not succeed.